Thank you, Mayor. I mean, fantastic presentation. Very inspirational. You know, when you look at empowerment and level of consciousness, and he said one thing I thought was really interesting. When you look at maybe a homeless person on the street, how do you view that person? And it's obvious that the mayor has a very high level of consciousness because he views that person as someone that can offer of something of value. And I think that's how we should all live our lives. So now it's time for the presentation of the Bishop's Awards. And so please welcome the co-chairs of the event, my very good friend, Sperry, and Randy Redwitz, to say a few words about the awards.
Well, thank you all for coming this morning. I know it's a long morning, but we've got such great speakers and a lot going on in the agenda. And we want to thank you for your generous support. You know, Father Chris Smith mentioned this, that we started this event nine or 10 years ago, 2002, in the gymnasium at Marywood up at the Diocese of Orange. How many here were at that event? Could you raise your hands? Look at that. Look at these supporters. A good number of you were here, or a smattering of you were here back then. And I think we were excited. We had spaghetti and meatballs for lunch, and it was kind of a tight schedule, and on a meager budget, we made about $50,000. Well, this year, as you can see, we've grown out of several hotels now. We're here at the Marriott. Now we're looking at a bigger place next year, thanks to your generous support. And today we hope to actually break the record in terms of funds raised. We were over $350,000 last year, and we hope to maybe get to the $400,000 with your generous support sometime this morning. So thank you so much for that. And now I want to introduce Randy Redwitz. He's a co-chair along with our wives Rosemary and Claudia, and a great team, a great committee, and the Neal group as well put this together. And we want to thank them for their efforts. And now Randy's going to talk a little bit about what these awards are about that you're about to hear. Thanks.
Thank you, Rand. You know, Rand, when I was thinking about us being up on the stage here together, I thought to myself, you know, Rand has 6 children, and I have 5. Claudia and I have 5, and we put all 11 of those, Rand through Holy Family, us through St. Edward's, and then most of them all went through Santa Margarita Catholic High School, and if not there, in other Catholic schools in the Diocese of Orange here. So, you know, I think we're candidates for being a poster dads, you know, of Catholic education. So.
Well, I feel like we supported it. We were part of the major contribution.
Right. First and foremost, what I'd like to do is recognize all the past honorees of this award that are here today. And if you could, if you are here, could you stand up and could we all give them a round of applause, please? Bishop Van, in his opening remarks, really eloquently described the characteristics of this award. And as being a co-recipient of this award last year, it is a very humbling award to receive. It's something that you don't think about during your lifetime career, but then to receive it almost gives you a little bit of a guilt trip and says, boy, if I've been given this award, I better watch out what I do in the future here, because this might be held against me. So it's a very humbling event. It's a very special event. And at the same time, you can see the connection here. All of you are supporting today Catholic education within the Diocese of Orange. And what you're doing is you're giving thousands of young men and women the opportunity to have the characteristics of this award and to be candidates for this award. And whether or not they ever receive the award, they will have those grounded characteristics to run their life by. And that's so incredibly important, and I hope you can see that connection and the value that you're creating for them. The two recipients today, Rick Muth, who I just recently met and really don't know very well, but I certainly know his family name and his family's connection with Mater Dei over the years and their huge support of Mater Dei High School. Rob Neal, I know personally very, very well, and I've had the honor of working with him on several different committees, and he is just an exemplary candidate for this award, particularly his work most recently for our new cathedral, and you're going to hear all about that. So let's get on with the presentation of the awards.
All right, Father Chris Smith would please come up here to do the honors.
It is certainly an honor for me to be able to present these awards in the name of Bishop Van, but it is a special honor for me to do that because I personally know both of those who are receiving the award today. And first there is Rick Muth, and I've known the Muth family for many, many years. His parents, Peter and Mary, were my parishioners when I was pastor of St. Joseph Church in Santa Ana. And I have been with the Muth family at several different times over the course of many years. And Rick, following in the example of his parents, is a man of integrity, a man of generosity, and with his parents, who are great supporters of Catholic education, has done the same. And so to be able to stand here in Bishop Van's name to present the award to Rick is another, I will say, milestone for me in my relationship with the Muth family. So I'm very honored to be able to do that. And let's take a few minutes now to watch the video as we get to know Rick a little bit better.
Good morning. My name is Henry Enriquez and a friend of Rick Muth. I've been invited and gladly accepted to speak about Rick and his love of sports and other aspects of his life. My first impression of Rick at track practice, it seemed to me, he had missed a few meals and a couple of Whopper hamburgers to finish his workout. Kidding aside, the kid had a great work ethic and worked as hard as anybody else on the team. He had a great stride that is really necessary in distance running, but even I didn't know how special this kid was. He started the track season running with a pack to learn how to pace himself and learned that quickly to my surprise. He later attended Santa Ana College and continued his running success there. After winning national honors on the track team, the following year he transferred to USC and participated on the track team, where he still holds a spot on the track team's all-time 3-mile list. He graduated with a Bachelor of Science in Marketing. To this day, Rick is still running and is a master track competitor. Rick presently is a very successful businessman in Orange County, but with all this success, he has not forgotten to give back. This guy, like his dad, has a big heart to give to the less fortunate and to his community. His contributions to the community and educational institutions and the arts are many, and here are just a few that I can list, but have impacted many. Rick gave to the Stanton Boys and Girls Club by serving as president and assisted with fundraising to increase the membership from 100 to 600. At USC, he had remained a spirited alum and has donated building materials and funds to his alma mater. At Chapman University, he has donated funds to support the construction of a variety of projects. Rick has also been very generous to his high school, Mater Dei, one of the schools that gave so much to him. He truly loves his community. However, to Rick, what is even more prestigious than awards or recognition is that in his personal life, he is a devoted husband to his wife, Nancy, and a loving father to his 2 beautiful daughters, Veronica and Stephanie. I am proud to say that Rick has become my longtime friend. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Dwayne Gleason, and I started with ORCO Block Company, actually this month, 49 years ago. I remember when Pete Muth, Rick's dad, brought him into the plant to work with us stacking block off the conveyor lines. This wasn't easy work. But Rick hung in there and became one of the guys, just not the boss's son. It didn't take long until Rick learned how to drive a forklift, but it also didn't take long for him to tip one over in the yard. Rick left the company for a while to attend USC, and he also worked for a labor relations firm and then for Northrop in an administrative position. When Rick rejoined the family business in 1975, he started back in the office and has done most every job since. Rick runs this company now with the help of several family members and staff that consider themselves family. Rick has always called our employees staff. This is why we have numerous employees at ORCO with over 40 years, as well as a number of second-generation people. I've seen Rick be able to uphold his strong ethics despite challenging times, whether that is family dynamics or market or competitor challenges, where it can be easy to give up values. He stayed true to his ethical values and compassion for people because he wants to see people do well and help them succeed, sometimes at his own sacrifices. He hasn't held resentment, but allowed for opportunities to get better. When we walk around the production area of our different locations, Rick is always interested in the staff's concerns and asks what he can help them with. It's nice to be able to work with a family like the Moose, and especially my friend, Rick Muth.
And Rick, would you please come to the stage so that we can present you the award?
Hello.
Gee, thanks, Father Chris. We've really enjoyed our family friendship and appreciate the kind words. And
Hello, my name is Bernie.
Orange Catholic Foundation, this really is an honor, and like our speaker said earlier, it's humbling. Boy, it really inspires. I'm 64, I hope to do some good work in the future. And also, Henry
Hello.
and Dwayne, gee, thanks a lot for the kind words and starting your film career with me. How lucky I am.
Hello, my name
I've
is
known Henry since 1965 and Dwayne 49 years. Henry is a friend and Dwayne
Hello,
was
my
a
name is
friend
Bernie
and
Neal.
a person that's given great service to our family firm for 49 years.
And I have the honor
thanks
of
for
introducing
my
one of
buddies
this year's
and supporters
honorees,
here.
my husband, Rob.
And it's really an honor to be up here. Rob Neal is part of the program, and Dick Reardon, who we heard. Pat Hayden's going to be here, and of course the Schulers. I have something in common with Paul McDonald and Pat Hayden. Paul, both of us and Pat, we became part of the top 10 in our respective sports. We were there, right? Okay, well, I need the help of Father Chris here. Okay, now they no longer run the 3 mile at any collegiate level, so I'll always be on the all-time list. So, Father Chris, am I now bragging, or am I just merely stating a fact?
I think stating a fact.
Thank you. Well, I was hoping I wouldn't have to plead for forgiveness, especially remember the sister that wrapped the knuckles here. But, business ethics is like flying a plane, and the way I look at it, direction and control. You must have direction and control. Now, if you cut corners, and if you give inaccurate information to the tower, and you're not doing it properly, you might not reach your destination. Matter of fact, you even have something in flying that says, tower, I need help. I'm in trouble. Would you please help me? Which, that particular issue was spoken to earlier today about asking forgiveness. Well, I try at ORCO to give the right direction and control when it comes to ethics. And I got three numbers, 68, 10, and 40. We hope to hit our 68th year. We're in 67 right now. We have half of our staff has been with us 10 years or more. And we have 4 people that have been with us 40 years or more. So I, as we all do, have a duty to keep our places going. And part of the way you have a business that continues going is ethics. Well, I'm not perfect, and neither is my company. We often ask ourselves 3 questions. Is it a good idea? And is it legal? And is it moral? And you know, Dick, at times we found that legal and moral was really not the same. But, and I think Dick really hit on a number of points where to get something done, well, it's not always real clear, is it? Sometimes the direction of our business relationship or our product is just not right, and we just have to say no. And sometimes we find the best deal is the deal that we don't do. Well, today's program is about Catholic education, and it reminds me of things I've seen along the way. Paul mentioned about his parents taking 2 jobs, and Paul, I saw that myself when I was going for Catholic education. And I saw that my daughters, that there were families that really made great sacrifices. And what I see is that they want academic excellence. And I noticed that too in Dick Reardon's speech. He talked about excellence in education. I really admired what I saw of those people, and I saw that they wanted to support the future. Congratulations, Orange Catholic Foundation. This is really a great event. You've done very well, and I hope it's very financially good too. So may the great institution of Catholic education persevere and go forward.
I mentioned that I have known the Muth family for a number of years, and the next recipient of the award I've probably known for a little over 1 year, and it seems like a lot longer. Now that is a good thing. That is a good thing, because Rob and I believe by God's providence, were entrusted with work unique in anything that either one of us have ever done, in terms of me being named as the Episcopal Vicar and Rector of Christ Cathedral, and Rob as the first interim COO, Chief Operating Officer of the Cathedral Corporation. And I have to tell you, my experience in working with Rob in many ways has changed me very much, because he has taught me so much about business, about integrity, about honesty, about authenticity, about fidelity, and about faith as a layperson committed to the Lord within our church. And so it's a great honor for me, and again in Bishop Van's name, to present this Integrity Award. And now let's get to know Rob a bit better by watching the video.
Hello, my name is Bernie Neal, and I have the honor of introducing one of this year's honorees, my husband, Rob Neal. Many of our friends in the last year have been asking, where's Rob? How's Rob? And it's become almost a pat answer. Rob's busy. Last year in February, Bishop Todd Brown asked Rob to be the interim COO of this future Christ Cathedral property. It has consumed our entire family. But Rob was also already asked to be the chairman of the board for the Boy Scouts of Orange County. Add to that his pesky day job that pays the bills. Rob has been very busy. But with all that, there are 3 great examples that I think best illustrate why Rob, over the last 30 years that I've known him, is so worthy of this distinction. And the first one is our daughter, Kira. Kira will not tell a lie. And that's because from the time she was a very little girl, no matter how difficult the question she asked her dad, he answered her honestly. It's allowed Kira to go out in the world and treat it the same way. My second example is our son, Colin. Colin is one of the finest men you will ever meet. He is bright, he is ethical, he's hardworking. If you ever have a team, you want Colin as the leader. And that's because Colin lived in a home where his dad was the leader. And if ever his dad wasn't, Colin knew that his dad was watching his flank. My third example goes way back to when Rob and I started dating. He wanted me to call him. And I said, I'm sorry, I am not in the habit of calling or pursuing guys, so I'm not gonna call. He said, I just want you to call me. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, you sit by the phone and wait, and we'll see how that works out. Well, week 1 went by, no calls. Deep into week 2, I received the most beautiful arrangement of roses. And on the unsigned card, it said, it would be appropriate in this instance to place a thank you call. I made a call to Rob Neal. Honey, you have loved me, guided me, challenged me, cajoled me, and in some cases you even let me get my way. But it seems that all the things you were doing at home, you've been doing out there in the world, and the world has noticed. On behalf of Kira and Colin and myself, well done, well deserved.
It's my honor to present to you in Bishop Van's name the Award for Integrity.
I was going to start off with a crack about USC, but I have to set a good example. I do want to say, Mr. Mayor, that it is a significant achievement, though, that UCLA beat USC last year. I think once every 10 years is remarkable. Oops. I do want you to all know I'm so pleased and honored to accept this award. It's made even more special knowing the remarkable group of past and current honorees. And as with almost any honor that's bestowed upon an individual, it's the result, I think, of a group effort. And in my lifetime, I've been blessed to have had many wonderful role models. You met my beloved wife of 30 years. She has been simply a paradigm of ethical behavior, and my 2 children have constantly demonstrated a true sense of right and wrong far beyond their years. I've also been surrounded by rigorously ethical business partners, employees, religious and dear friends, each of whom has modeled a special example of good and true behavior. Like Rick, I have to say that my own practice of ethics is still quite uneven and spotty, but filled with determination. Even now, I don't consider a good and ethical deed quite done until I've tried to let everyone on planet Earth know about it. The Lord says, well done, good and faithful servant, not good and successful servant. The rewards of ethical behavior are often not immediately forthcoming. And one must be convinced that over time, with continued effort, the ethical path will yield a bountiful harvest. Of course, ethical behavior is best practiced without the assurance of a reward. But I'm certain that he who knows all delights in the ethical deed done just because. I thank you again. I'm quite flattered. I feel undeserving of sharing the stage with Rick Muth and Dr. Arvella Schuler. I also want to thank Bishop Van and my dear, dear friend, Father Christopher. and the Orange Catholic Foundation for this wonderful recognition. And I thank you all for your continuing support of Catholic education. Thank you very much.
Thank you, gentlemen. You two, Rick and Rob are so deserving and really exemplify, I think, why we're here today and why we're all here on this planet, and that's to serve. So congratulations. So now we get a 5-minute break. Okay, 5 minutes. So I'm gonna hold you to that. So you get a little potty break, maybe a little something to drink, and get back in here, okay?